Happy New Year, everybody. It's been an interesting year, 2024, and I'm DJ Ray. And in case you don't know me, I basically am here every Tuesday at 8 p.m. on TikTok. And I've got some exciting news because if everything goes right, actually, you know what? I won't say anything for now, but I think I got some exciting news next Tuesday as we enter 2025. So, yeah, usually around this time of year, you kind of just want to move on to bigger and better things. And that's kind of Yahweh, how are you? That's kind of how I look at things. Oh, thank you, Yahweh. Appreciate that. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, so like I said, I'm DJ Ray every Tuesday at 8 p.m., usually for about 45 minutes approximately, give or take. I crown the greatest of a different category of all time. So, to give you an example, a couple weeks ago we did the greatest guitarist of all time, and Keith Richards from the Rolling Stones won. It was a little surprising to me, actually, but I do scoring systems every week for these, and I think the scoring systems are broken down pretty good. So sometimes I surprise myself with who I pick. I usually do the top 20 of each category, and then break it down to the number one all-time best. So today's category, suitably for New Year's Eve, in my opinion, we're going to be counting down the 20 greatest party songs of all time. Party songs, isn't that what New Year's Eve's all about? Celebrating a new year. So you're going to love tonight's list, and you're definitely going to like the number one song that I choose. So let's just jump right into it. If anybody dares want to try and pick the number one or number two, even top three, if you can pick one of the top three songs that you think is the biggest party song in history. So when I say history, I'm going back to like 1950 to right now, entering 2025. So if you have any guesses on what you think is the greatest party song of all time, I'll be quite impressed. And if it's in the top three, that's good by me. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. The greatest party song of all time. At number 20, it was originally released by Tommy James and the Shondells, which topped the UK charts back in 1968. However, it was Billy Idol's cover version in 1981 that took Mony Mony, and America was taken by storm as it topped the Billboard Hot 100 chart. And I'm just going to stop there for one sec because I want you guys to know that tonight's top 20 is very methodical because every single song you're going to hear me talk about tonight, these 20 songs, every one of them was a number one, numero uno, number one song on the Billboard Hot 100, which to me is the standard in music charts. The Billboard Hot 100 is the best of everything, not just country or house or R&B, reggae, whatever. It's everything. So all 20 of these songs were at some point a number one in the entire USA, and many times Canada. So just know that all these songs are power hitters, but they're also great party songs. So Mony Mony by Billy Idol. This newer version gave rise to an interesting custom. Whenever the song was performed in concert or at a club, the crowd would shout out an obscene variation of a particular phrase following each line. Do you guys remember what it was? If so, let me see if somebody can put it into the... What did people say with Mony Mony? Hey, get... I don't think I should say it because I'm scared of getting flagged. Been on the edge a little bit later. But anyway, hey, get. Not only did it top the US charts, it was also a number one track in Canada. It spent 1 week on Billboard's Hot 100 chart in the US, and that's Mony Mony by Billy Idol coming in at number 20. Once again, I'm DJ Ray. Happy New Year to everybody. For those of you who are new, just know that every Tuesday at 8 p.m. I'm here religiously, And every Tuesday at 8 p.m., I have a different feature, the greatest of all time in different music categories. Tonight, it's the greatest party song of all time. So in about 20, 30 minutes, you're going to hear, in my opinion, and in many others' opinions, because like I said, these are all number one. They were all number one in America at one point in history. So, Mony Mony, song number 20, which takes me to song number 19. And this one was one of 6 songs performed by the Bee Gees that was included on the iconic Saturday Night Fever movie soundtrack that was released in 1977. The official music video for this track shows actor John Travolta strutting his stuff on that legendary lit up dance floor. This song spent 1 week at number 1 on Billboard's Hot 100 chart and was the Bee Gees' 3rd number 1 single in the US and their 6th number 1 in Canada. What is the song? Number 19 goes to the Bee Gees and You Should Be Dancing. So, this song, when you think of the Bee Gees, you think of Staying Alive and the bigger ones, but, if you just listen to the hype in this particular song, it's almost like a disco house track. It's got a nice little house vibe to it almost. And this song came out in the late 70s. So You Should Be Dancing by the Bee Gees. If you want to party, I'm telling you, doesn't matter how old you are, that one's going to get you on the dance floor. How's it going, Uncle Mike? Hi, Ange. Hi, Stacy. Glad you guys can join. So we're counting down the greatest party songs of all time in a pursuit to find out what the best of all time party song is. And I did my research on this one, guys. They're all number 1s in the US from the past. So number 20 was Mony Mony by Billy Idol. Number 19, You Should Be Dancing by the Bee Gees. And number 18 is by C+C Music Factory, Gonna Make You Sweat. Okay. This popular 90s dance track featured singer Martha Wash and rapper Freedom Williams. Although it was indeed Martha Wash from the Weather Girls, remember? It's Raining Men. That was the Weather Girls who did that originally, before the Spice Girl, which one was it? No. It escapes me. Did it. The original was the Weather Girls, and Martha Wash was one of the Weather Girls. But here's the thing. Although it was indeed Martha Wash from the Weather Girls who provided vocals on this track, it was Zelma Davis who lip-synced Martha Wash's part on the actual music video. I don't know what it was about the early 90s, which is where this song came out, Gonna Make You Sweat by C+C Music Factory. But it seems like everybody wanted to lip sync. Like, where's the talent? Remember Milli Vanilli? Just 2 good looking guys that just lip synced. It was weird. So anyway, just so you guys know, this song was not sung by Zelma Davis. She was just there for the looks. Martha Wash, she can belt out the notes. Anyways, this particular song spent 2 weeks at number 1 on Billboard's Hot 100 in the US. Not only was it a Billboard's number 1 single in the US, it also topped the charts in Netherlands, Germany, Austria, Switzerland, and the UK. So pretty big song. Number 18 goes out to C+C Music Factory featuring Freedom Williams, Martha Wash, Gonna Make You Sweat. Number 18. Cool. Well, once again, Happy New Year, everybody. I was thinking of having a drink or whatever, but you know what? On that last one, I had a couple, not literal hiccups, but hiccups with, whatever. So I'm just keeping it clean, at least for now, right? On camera, you got to keep everything clean, right? So number 18, Gonna Make You Sweat, C+C Music Factory. Vito, how you doing? How you doing, Rebel? Wow, we got Frankie. How's it going, Frankie? It's good to see Chrissy. Hey, Chrissy, I think, was it you that wanted the classic hip hop, the greatest classic hip hop of all time? Because next week I listened to you guys, right? And yeah, that's right. Okay, so it was you. I remember now. So next week, the greatest hip hop of all time, the greatest hip hop artist. I'm going to do the top 20. And I'm not just going to do the 90s, even though that's the best. So you're going to hear mostly 90s. But there's some great hip hop in the early 2000s. I think hip hop started going down in the last 10, 15 years. It's just been a little lame. But doesn't matter. All time hip hop we'll do next week. Back to this week. Happy New Year, everybody. I'm DJ Ray. I'm here every Tuesday at 8 p.m. counting down the greatest of some sort of music theme. Tonight, the theme is, being New Year's Eve, the greatest party song of all time. We left off at number 18, Gonna Make You Sweat by CNC Music Factory. And now, I thought this one would be a little higher, actually, but at number 17, it was released in 1980, and it was the band's only single to top the U.S. mainstream music charts. It spent 2 weeks at number 1 on Billboard's Hot 100 chart, 2 weeks in the U.S., and in 2016, it was inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame. What song am I talking about? Kool and the Gang, Celebration. What a great song for New Year's Eve. I really thought this would be in the top 3, but after doing, a lot of it has to be how many weeks they spent at number 1. And although Celebration's an amazing song, it only actually spent 2 weeks at number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 in the US. So that factors into its positioning. But hey, any song that can make the top 20 of all time party songs, good by me. In 1982, Celebration served as the theme song for the St. Louis Cardinals after they won the World Series in baseball. Over the years, this song has served as a popular party song at various events, including weddings, birthdays, and anniversaries. So coming in at number 17, it's Celebration by Kool and the Gang. Let's take a little quick sip here, guys. Cheers. Just water. When you get parched. So where were we? Number 17, Celebration, Kool and the Gang, which takes us up to number 16 of the greatest party songs in history of music. Wow, we're not going back as far as Beethoven and stuff like that, but I don't know if they partied back then. But 1950, say, to today, the biggest songs. Coming in at number 16, Donna Summer with Hot Stuff. This song was released in 1979. It's an iconic disco track that won the Grammy Award for Best Female Vocal Performance in the inaugural year that this award was given out. It spent 3 weeks at number 1 on Billboard's Hot 100 chart in the US, while also topping the charts in Japan, Switzerland, Australia, and right here in Canada. Which song is that, Chrissy? The one I just said? Hot Stuff? I was just saying? Or Celebration? I'll wait for you there. Okay, so yeah, number 16, Donna Summer takes it with Hot Stuff. Like I said, it had 3 weeks at number 1, this song. In 2010, Rolling Stone magazine included Hot Stuff on their list of the 500 greatest songs of all time. So coming in at number 16, it's Donna Summer with Hot Stuff, Queen of Disco. You can't go wrong. There's another party song. The ladies love it. All the years I've DJ'd, I don't remember a time when Hot Stuff wasn't a good choice. I think even if it was a guy's night out. Anyway, so if you like energy, this next song's pretty cool. It was released in 1984. It was Wham's first of several number 1 singles, which topped the Billboard Hot 100 charts in America. It actually spent 3 weeks at number 1, while also topping number 1 in the US, while also topping the charts in Norway, Sweden, Ireland, Belgium, Australia, the UK, and Canada. Primarily due to its incredible cultural impact, VH1 included this track on their list of the greatest songs of the 1980s. What am I referring to? Remember that duo known as Wham? Remember those two guys? Remember? George Michael, Andrew Ridgeley. They come in at number 15 with Wake Me Up Before You Go Go. You do the jitterbug, Hope I don't get flagged for that. So, Wake Me Up Before You Go Go by Wham comes in at number 15. When asked about his inspiration behind creating this song, George Michael was quoted as saying, I just wanted to make a really energetic pop record that had all the best elements of the 50s and 60s. So, and when you listen to the song, it is very up-tempo and very 50s, early 60s sounding. So, coming in at number 15 on DJ Ray's greatest party songs of all time is Wake Me Up Before You Go Go by Wham. And speaking of 50s and 60s, my number 14 choice was originally released in 1958 by Hank Ballard, but it was Chubby Checker's 1960 version that really lit up the music charts in Canada and the US, where it spent 3 weeks at number 1. The song is called The Twist by Chubby Checker. I know we have some mature, Mary. How are you, Mary? I just saw you there. Hey, Guido, what's going on? Got all kinds of people here. New Year's Eve, it's an early still. It's only 8:15. Getting hyped up, I'm sure. How many people are going out tonight? Or are we just all like at that point where, anybody? No, it's not Let's Twist Again, but it's The Twist. The original one before the again. So it's part 1. And this song actually held the distinct honor of being the most successful single in Billboard history on all its various charts. So I'll say that again. It had the distinct honor of being the most successful single in Billboard music history. That's how big it was. I wasn't alive to experience it, but the twist craze was something to be seen. Anybody that's maybe about maybe 65 or over might understand that. But in the year 2000, The Twist by Chubby Checker was inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame. And in 2014, Billboard magazine declared it the biggest hit of the 1960s. So, yeah, safe to say, number 14, we're going to go with The Twist, Chubby Checker, that spent 3 weeks at number 1 on Billboard's Hot 100 chart in the US. Mountain Mama has joined. Look at that. Sarah, are you in there at all? I see your face, but there's no volume. I don't know. I might have screwed that up there. But anyway, let's continue on.
Yeah,
for those of you just joining or don't know,
I do have volume. Are you able to hear me?
I am I'm pretty much a nobody, so I feel like I have to mention it a lot. My name's DJ Ray. I do these lives every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on TikTok. And I've got some really cool news coming up, but I'm going to leave that till next week. So next Tuesday, it's going to be, for Chrissy, I'm going to be doing the greatest hip hop artists of all time. And keep in mind, I'm OG here, so there's going to be a lot of classic hip hop artists when hip hop was real hip hop. But there's the odd few newbies, but hip hop's just not the same as it was 10, 20 years ago. But anyway, so at number 14, I had The Twist by Chubby Checker, 3 weeks at number 1 and on Billboard's Hot 100 in the US. And we're counting down the greatest party songs of all time. Number 13 was recorded by American singer-songwriter Kenny Loggins. Footloose. Remember that? It spent 3 weeks, again, 3 weeks at number 1 in the US, while also topping the music charts in other countries such as, you might be surprised by a couple of these, Footloose. Countries like South Africa, Colombia, Peru, New Zealand, Australia, and of course Canada. So it wasn't just in the US that this song was popular. And it's one of those, kind of cultural phenomenon songs that people still request the DJs play. So especially at weddings and stuff like that. But when it comes to all-time party songs, the number 13 spot definitely goes to Kenny Loggins with Footloose. In the year 1985, it was even nominated for an Academy Award as Best Original Song. When you get an Academy Award, you're on a different level. So, Bubblegum, my sister knows my tastes. Is it Double Bubble or just that Bazooka Joe stuff? Or is the hockey card stuff you can't even blow bubbles with? Anyway, let's get back to business at hand here. Number 13, all-time greatest party song goes to Kenny Loggins and Footloose. Take a little sip here before we get to number 12.
Hey, Ray, are you able to hear me? Ray, are you able to hear me?
I wish it was real. These gifts are so cool, and I appreciate them. Thank you. But I wish I could really eat them. Whoops. Give me a sec here. Little casualty. Okay. So, where did we leave off? At number 13, we had the Footloose by Kenny Loggins. For these, let's see. One thing I forgot to tell you guys. I should usually like to do this right at the beginning, but we're only at number 12 now. So I have a scoring system every time we do these greatest of. And tonight's scoring system's broken down to 3 categories. It's always out of 10. So 4 points goes to how many weeks the song was charted at number 1 in the US. Because obviously if one song's charted 10 weeks and one song's charted 1 week, you got to give a little advantage to the one that stayed on the Billboard charts for almost 2.5 months. 3 points is given to energy level. We are talking about the greatest party songs of all time, so the energy better be up there. And the third one is time tested because, there's a lot of songs that were great party songs like Macarena, and I guess at weddings it's time tested, but it's not one of those things. I don't remember in the last, I don't know, unless it was a joke, all the years DJing in recent years, anyone ever requesting Macarena in a nightclub. So time tested. So 4 points for number 1, how many weeks they were charted at number 1 on Billboard's Hot 100. 3 points for the energy level and 3 points for how time tested the song is. Now, this one here obviously lost a little points on time tested because it's only, 8 years old. But number 12, all-time party song, which is pretty impressive for this girl, Taylor Swift and Shake It Off. Okay? This song was released in 2014. And the lyrics within reflect all the negative remarks regarding Taylor's public image that were made by the media throughout her career. I don't know, people seem to either love Taylor Swift or hate her. I'm kind of in the middle because I really see the talent in Taylor Swift because she's one of the few artists in today's times that has true time-tested talent. That's a TTT, huh? But I don't know, is she as big as everybody makes her out to be? I don't know, but this song here, definitely, as far as party time goes, bar none, her biggest song. And Shake It Off spent 4 weeks at number 1 on the American music charts. And the single also topped the charts in Denmark, Slovakia, Poland, Hungary, Australia, Mexico, and of course, Canada. So at the 57th Annual Grammy Awards in 2015, Shake It Off was nominated in 3 categories: Record of the Year, Song of the Year, and Best Pop Solo Performance. In 2015, this up-tempo track won the iHeartRadio Music Award for Song of the Year. So, does it seem to fit in with all these legendary songs? Maybe not, but Taylor Swift is a big deal, whether we like it or not. And she comes in at number 12. Shake It Off by Taylor Swift spent 4 weeks at number 1, and that's pretty good by me. So, once again, I'm DJ Ray. Happy New Year, everybody. The night's still young, so I won't keep you too long, maybe another 20 minutes. If you're willing to stick around, let you get on your way if you're going to a party or anything, or even if you're just staying at home and, partying with some friends. I wish I could play music on here. This would make this so much better, but I always seem to get flagged if I put just the littlest thing like Christmas, I just played a little bit of Christmas music, trying to, and got in trouble. Anyway, not too big of a deal. Number 11 on the greatest party song list of all time, Rolling Stones and Satisfaction. Now we're starting to talk, right? We're getting into some guitar party tunes. This iconic rock track was released in 1965 while in the height of the original British invasion, with a guitar riff. Remember I was saying Keith Richards? A guitar riff widely regarded as one of the greatest hooks of all time. A song that heavily refers to sexual frustration. Satisfaction spent 4 weeks at number one. 4 weeks at number one in America, while also topping the charts in many other countries around the world, including Ireland, Germany, Sweden, South Africa, and of course the UK. In 1998, this song was inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame, and in 2021, Rolling Stone magazine included it on their list of the 500 greatest songs of all time. Song number 11, Rolling Stones, and I Can't Get No Satisfaction. You know, that makes me feel like listening to that song now. You know, it's sometimes you don't hear a song for so long and somebody brings it up and you're like, I gotta play me that. It is New Year's Eve, the night young. I'm gonna write that on my list of songs to play a little later on. There we go. You just gotta do it sometimes. What's going on in the chat room here? Let's see what's going on. It's so nice to see so many people coming back and having some fun and hanging out, and you know, and for those of you that send me gifts or whatever, thank you so much. I'm still kind of getting the hang of the gift thing. My sister reamed me out a bit because I wasn't being appreciative, and I want you to know I'm very appreciative. I just learning these things. I've only gotten to TikTok. It's been about a year now, but a lot of learning curves. So anyway, again, I'm DJ Ray. Every Tuesday, I'm here with the greatest of some sort of category involving music. Tonight, no better choice than the greatest party songs of all time. It's New Year's Eve. I can't wait for 2025. I feel it's going to be a great year. And these top 10 that I'm going to get to you right now are really going to make you want to start getting onto YouTube or getting into your whatever way you listen to music. There you go. Look at that, eh? I look good in those glasses. But you're gonna enjoy these top 10. So without further delay, this next song was released in 1999. Song number 10, released in 1999 by Puerto Rican sensation Ricky Martin during a Latin music explosion within the US. So in the late 90s, Latin music just started to soar. And Ricky Martin was at the head of it in many ways. The guy was sexy. He was like, not that, you know, I was looking or anything. I'm just saying. A sexy guy, great dancer. He just epitomized the Latin movement. And many of you may not know this, but reggaeton, which became a big genre, I guess officially you can say earlier, but realistically in the early 2000s, kind of sprouted from Ricky Martin's Latin explosion. You got Shakira, J-Lo, all these, you know, and then you get the Daddy Yankees and stuff with the reggaetons and Maluma and everything, you know, the list goes on. So Enrique Iglesias. Number 10 goes to Ricky Martin, Livin' La Vida Loca. And yeah, like I said, this song is generally seen as the song that started this upward trend of Spanish music. So, and you know what? Spanish music never really died. It's still, people love it. It just, I think that late 90s sprout just really took Latin music into another realm. So Livin' La Vida Loca, its unique sound that combines elements of Latin pop, dance, and ska, a little bit of ska in there, helped it remain at the number one spot on Billboard's Hot 100 chart for a total of 5 weeks. Not only did it dominate the American music charts, but it was also number one in 17 other countries around the world, including Canada and the UK. Yes. So number 10, all-time party songs, Livin' La Vida Loca. And that's what we should be doing tonight by Ricky Martin. Song number 10. We're well into the top 10. This is just going to get heavier and heavier, okay? You guys are just going to, you know, have to put on some tunes while you're listening to these because this is the perfect playlist. I might be a little biased, but song number 9, okay, was released in 2011 by EDM music duo, electronic dance music, LMFAO, which consisted of American rappers and family members. I believe it was an uncle and a nephew, but don't quote me on that. Red Foo and Sky Blue. Okay, that was LMFAO. The song I'm referring to that comes in at number 9, it's Party Rock Anthem. Party Rock is in the house tonight. Am I allowed to sing it or just not play it? I don't know. So, having spent 6 weeks at number 1 on the American music charts, it was also very popular around the world, peaking at number 1 in several countries, including France, Germany, Australia, the UK, and Canada, just to name a few. In 2012, Party Rock Anthem won 4 Billboard Music Awards, including Top Dance Song. And in 2013, this song helped LMFAO win the award as the world's best group. That's right, the world's best group. So as you can see, as I'm getting higher here, the songs. It's not so much the band, because LMFAO, where did they go? But the song Party Rock Anthem, when you're doing greatest party songs of all time, you can see why it comes in at number 9. Okay? For those of you just joining, if there's anybody here, Party Rock is in. That's it, Chrissy. Chrissy and I have similar tastes in music. We had a little chat. Just yeah. So, reminder who I am. I'm DJ Ray. I love the hat. Is that a hat? Anyway, I'm DJ Ray. Every Tuesday at 8 p.m. I'm here. Every Tuesday I have a different topic, but it's always the greatest of some sort of music theme. This week, being New Year's Eve, it's all about the greatest party song of all time. And we are down at song number 8. So it's getting close, just like we're getting closer to a new year. Well, 3.5 hours. It's not that close, but it's close enough. Okay, song number 8. You guys should start. Yeah, you got to browse me. How are you going to do that? My sister scares me sometimes. Okay, so it's still time enough for you to type in what you think is the greatest party song. Even if you're wrong, you're allowed opinion. Really, these are my opinions, but I'm basing it a lot on every one of these songs has been a number 1 US single at some point in history. So some of them have been number 1 for more weeks, but they're all number 1s regardless. Song number 8. Okay, this iconic party song was originally recorded in 1975 by English pop rock band The Arrows. However, it was Joan Jett's 1982 rendition that took the world by storm. Not only did it spend 7 weeks at number 1 in the US, but it also topped the music charts in multiple countries around the world, including South Africa, Australia, and Canada. And of course, as I said, Elvis, hey, thank you for coming. Thank you very much. Yeah. So this legendary track, I Love Rock and Roll, can somewhat compare to a fine bottle of wine in the sense that it actually became even greater as it slowly aged over the years. And I'm not giving you my opinion, because if I'm being honest, it kind of, as a DJ of many years, it kind of gets tiring hearing it all the time. But everybody can't be wrong, right? So tons of requests over the years. To this day, if you put every I Love Rock and Roll on and you got a crowd going, good chance 90% of the dance floor is going to be full. Coming in at number 8, Joan Jett, I Love Rock and Roll, 7 weeks on top in the US back in the early 80s. Okay, lucky number 7. The greatest party song of all time. Anybody take any guesses here? I know that leaves there's a lot of great party songs out there. I Love Rock and Roll, Chrissy, yeah. Uncle Mike, you got to give me some of that bubble gum too, buddy. I just want to pick it off the screen and, anyway, let's continue on. Okay, so song number 7 was released in 1963. It spent several weeks at number 1 in the US, and in 2018, Billboard magazine named it the 48th biggest hit of all time on the Hot 100 chart. In the UK, it was the second highest selling single of the 1960s. That's right, just behind another legendary Beatles track called She Loves You. Of course, or maybe not of course, because the Beatles had a lot of songs, number 7 goes to the Beatles, I Want to Hold Your Hand. That was the song. I mean, talk about partying. I mean, the Beatles almost got tore apart when they first came over in the original British invasion. They were the British invasion, them and the Stones, if you think about it. In the UK, this song, I Want to Hold Your Hand, in the year 1988, it was officially inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame. And in 2004, Rolling Stone magazine ranked it at number 16 on its list of the 500 greatest songs of all time. Okay? I Want to Hold Your Hand, the Beatles. 7 weeks at number 1. That's right. It's crazy. 7 weeks at number 1, consecutive weeks too. And in 2010, Rolling Stone magazine also placed it at number 2 on its list of the 100 greatest Beatles songs. So, song number 7 on my all-time party song list, I Want to Hold Your Hand by the Beatles. And that's another one I'm going to write down because I just feel like hearing it again later. So, yeah, I got, the memory banks don't really hold that much information at once. So, got to write her down. I recommend you guys hear it too. I just wish I could play music. How cool would that be? I think one day they're going to do something like that with everything going on in the world. Just let us, whatever. Anyway, so I'm DJ Ray counting down the top party songs of all time. My scoring system is broken down into how many weeks it was charted at number 1, gets 4 points out of 10. The energy level of the song, which there's a lot of them with high energy levels, get 3 points out of 10. And how time tested the song is gets another 3. This next song number 6, was released in 2003. This high energy track was recorded by American rap duo Andre 3000 and Big Boy, better known as Outkast. The song I'm referring to, you want energy? Hey Ya. Okay, 2003 it came out. Its massive popularity kept this song at number 1 on the US charts for an incredible 9 weeks. You see how the songs are getting better and better? It was also number 1 in Sweden, Norway, Australia, and Canada. Hey Ya by Outkast. This song's amazing run at number 1 bridged 2 eras, ending Casey Kasem's tenure as host of American Top 40 and beginning the Ryan Seacrest era. It's funny, I had to make this point because, when I think of myself, I always call myself the Dick Clark, the Casey Kasem, and the Ryan Seacrest all rolled up in one, because I've always been with the hits. I've DJ'd so many years of my life, and although I enjoy indie music like the next guy, it's the hits. It's the ones that are popular that really, and there's so many of them out there, so I'm a bit of a, the only thing different between me, Dick Clark, Casey Kasem, and Ryan Seacrest is I know how to actually DJ. Actually, I don't know if they really do or not, so I shouldn't say that, but I've DJ'd at some good clubs, not going to brag or anything, but I can actually DJ and know the music. But I like to think of myself as my own unique person. So this song, Hey Ya by Outkast, won many awards, including a Grammy for Best Urban Performance and a BET Award for Video of the Year. So coming in at number 6, I got to go with Outkast and Hey Ya. All right, let me take a little sip here. Happy New Year, everybody. Just water for now. What do we got going on there? Is that your friend Sarah Ann there? That's cool. Hi, David. I don't know if you're referring to me or there's a different DJ in here, but if you're referring to me, Chrissy, about DJing, I did DJ my sister's 50th inch. It was a pretty good time, by the way. Anyway, let's get back to this. We're counting down the greatest party songs of all time in a quest to find out what is the top banana numero uno song, party song ever in history of music. So we're into the top 5. This is when it gets really exciting. Song number 5 was released in 2013 by American pop singer Robin Thicke. This track features fellow American rappers T.I. and Pharrell Williams. Having spent almost 3 months at number 1 on the US charts, it impacted the entire globe by topping the charts in 25 different countries and reaching the top 5 in 6 others. That's crazy. In 2015, this single became the subject. By the way, the single I'm referring to is Blurred Lines. Okay, remember that song that Robin Thicke, which is Alan Thicke's son, who was Canadian, but Robin, not so much. In 2015, this single became the subject of a legal dispute with the family of the late Marvin Gaye, who argued the song infringed on copyrights to Gaye's 1977 single, Got to Give It Up. You should go listen to it and see if you think you see the similarities. There are, but both Pharrell Williams and Robin Thicke were found liable by a federal jury. And Marvin Gaye, or his family, I guess, was awarded posthumous songwriting credit based on the royalties pledged to his estate. I sometimes wonder if Robin Thicke and Pharrell Williams regret recording this track. Nah, I don't think so. Song number 5 goes to Robin Thicke, Blurred Lines. 12 weeks, 3 months at number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 back in 2013. Pretty cool, eh? Which brings us to number 4. Number 4 is very similar to the one I just said in BPM count and just the whole vibe and even the era. So song number 5 is a funky pop track that was produced by Mark Ronson and sung by the one and only Bruno Mars. Released in 2014, it has since become a worldwide phenomenon with a major impact on pop culture. The song I'm referring to, Uptown Funk, Mark Ronson and Bruno Mars. This song earned several accolades, including a Grammy Award for Record of the Year and a Brit Award for Single of the Year, which is pretty cool since Bruno Mars is American. It spent an amazing 14 weeks at number 1 in the US. Do you believe that? That's well over 3 months at number 1. I think it was consecutive too. So not only did it spend 14 weeks at number 1 in the US, Uptown Funk also topped the music charts in over 15 countries worldwide, including Canada and the UK. Yes. Okay, so number 4 goes to Mark Ronson, Bruno Mars, Uptown Funk. 14. 14. This is the other way around. 14 weeks at number 1 on the biggest charts in the world, the Billboard Hot 100 American chart. I'm a proud Canadian, but I'm big enough to know where the music comes from. And without going off topic, Canada has been soaring with musicians and whatnot over the past. So, you know, put it this way, I think Canada is now in many ways surpassing England for the UK for music, in my opinion. But no one's ever going to top the US. It doesn't look that way. They're just geniuses with music. So I used Billboard Hot 100 because I go with the best music. So number 4 goes to Mark Ronson, Bruno Mars, Uptown Funk. This next one, so we're in top 3, right? That deserves a little sip. I'm running a little later than usual, but I hope you guys don't mind. Yeah, great tune in the 90s. Song number 3 was released in 2009 by American pop group, the Black Eyed Peas. And similar to Uptown Funk, this high-energy dance track spent a total of 14 weeks at the top of Billboard's Hot 100 chart in America. The song's infectious sound and popularity swept through the entire planet. And just like the US, it topped multiple music charts in over 20 countries, including Israel, Portugal, Italy, and Canada. As of June 2019, it has sold over 9 million downloads in the US and continues to hold the record as iTunes' most downloaded song of all time. Pretty impressive. Okay, there you go. Song number 3, the Black Eyed Peas. I got a feeling it's going to be a good night. Don't we all? I mean, it's not even 9 o'clock yet. There's that. There's my, yes, I like that hat. So song number 3 goes to the Black Eyed Peas. I got a feeling. 14 weeks at number 1 in the US. All right. We are down now to the, we're down to the top 2. So just before I do that, I want to give you guys one last chance. If you want to guess what the number 1 song of a party song of all time is, I'll give you, if you pick either of these 2, I'll give it to you. So, good enough. Remembering here that we're counting down to the greatest party song of all time. I've only got 2 left. Okay. Song number 2 was released in 1976. This iconic dance track was recorded by Swedish supergroup ABBA. It was Europe's version of American disco music, kind of, this song, that swept the world as a number 1 hit in multiple countries, including Portugal, Russia, Canada, and the UK. Well, it wasn't called Russia. It was the Soviet Union at the time, but you get what I'm saying. We're talking about ABBA. Yes, Sarah. Wait, Ange got it first. Who said Billie Jean? Ange. Oh, okay. We're getting some guesses. You know what, Jen? Shabuzi, that's going to be a top party song of all time. I couldn't put it on this list because it just didn't have the numbers to support these ones, but it just came out for those of you who don't know that one. Shabuzi, Tipsy, a party song. Great party song. If you haven't heard it, it's only a few months old. But that maybe a year old. So check it out. Shabuzi. Good mention, Jen. Like I said, number 2 goes to ABBA and Dancing Queen. It is kind of like America's disco music, but Sweden didn't exactly have a boom with disco like America did. So, but when I think of Dancing Queen, I do think of disco. So, and just so popular with the girls. I mean, I don't care whether it's the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, 2000s, 2010s, 2020s, at the 2030s. We're not even there yet. Dancing Queen by ABBA will always be a staple song. It's just a party tune. And you know, the funny thing is the energy level isn't even the highest. It's really only 102 BPMs, but it's just some songs, it's not about the BPM count. It's about just the energy. And that's what makes Dancing Queen by ABBA so special. Okay. It stayed at number 1 on the US charts for, check this out, an astonishing 18 weeks. It was number 1, which equates to approximately 4.5 months. ABBA Dancing Queen. Yeah, back in 1976. 4.5 months at number 1. In 2015, it was officially inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame. And in 2023, just last year, it was ranked at number 2 on Billboard magazine's list of the 500 best pop songs of all time. Number 2. It's my number 2. I just realized that. So good enough for Billboard, it's good enough for me. That was just last year. Billboard updated their list and put them at number 2. ABBA, Dancing Queen, 18 weeks, 4.5 months at number 1 on Billboard's Hot 100 chart. Pretty impressive. That now takes us to the number 1 party song of all time. We're what is it, 3 hours and 10 minutes away from ringing in 2025. I want to wish you all a very happy new year. Just don't want to forget that. And where's my drummer? I think Uncle Mike usually does the drums, but no, he's sleeping a bit there. You got Old Time Rock and Roll, Mary, as the number one song of all time, number one party song. We'll see. I'm about to tell you what it is. And remember, every song on here was a number one hit in the US at some point in history. And some were just for 1 week, some were for 2, some were for 10. This next one, number one, is 21 weeks at number one on the Billboard Hot 100 in the US. 21 weeks. What is that even? It's over 5 months. Anyway, it was released in 1979 when disco music was actually beginning to fade in popularity. This is a disco song. In spite of that fact, Michael Jackson's "Don't Stop Till You Get Enough" is hands down the greatest party song of all time. 21 weeks. Not only was it, 5-something months, half a year on number one in 1979, or was it 1980 here? I just double checking, but disco was going downhill. Do you remember Disco Sucks? Remember, for those, let me show my age a bit. Disco was going downhill when he released this iconic party tune. Okay, Don't Stop Till You Get Enough. Like I said, with an unprecedented 21 weeks at the number one spot on Billboard's Hot 100 chart, this legendary disco track won Michael Jackson his very first Grammy Award. His first one, way before Billie Jean and all that. Incidentally, he would go on to capture 12 more Grammys, while also being presented with the Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award and the Grammy Legend Award. I remember that one. That was a pretty cool one. They don't give that one out to too many people. The song's lasting power has been well documented over the years as a popular dance track that suits almost any occasion on any given night. In my opinion, a big part of this song's success can be attributed to the fact that it was Michael Jackson's first solo recording in which he had complete creative control. As one of the most talented music artists in history, gaining creative control for a guy like Michael Jackson is like giving, or like opening Pandora's box, but in a good way, right? So yeah, the number one song of all time. I hope you guys agree. Somebody picked it, and it was, let's see, somebody picked it. I know I saw it here. Oh, geez. You guys are talking too much. You can't. No, I love it. I love that. Okay. Where is it? I know somebody picked, and I usually like to acknowledge, unless they can step forward here. There's too many comments in the... Okay, who said that? Who said, "Don't stop till you get enough"? I know somebody said it. Well, whoever said it, brilliant. And you know what? It's hard to pick the great. I can name another 100 great party songs, but it's hard to do that. Anyway, this is probably the longest live I've had yet on TikTok. I usually try to keep it to maximum 45 minutes, but I'm going to start wrapping up. It's New Year's Eve. I want you guys to go have some fun. And, a couple reminders I would like to mention that next week, okay, by special request, right? Next week, we're going to do the greatest hip hop artist of all time. For those of you who might not be a big fan of hip hop, just know that I'm an old school classic OG hip hopper. Okay. I was DJing when freaking, Dr. Dre just came out and stuff. I was, DJing almost, I won't go further because everybody's going to start guessing my age. Anyway, basically it's going to be mostly classic. I'll tell you that right now. But the greatest hip hop artist of all time is next Tuesday. We'll be into January at that point. I believe it's January 7th. Yeah, January 7th, Tuesday night at 8 p.m. right here on TikTok. I have a big announcement to make. I think I'll be able to make it next week, but I'm going to keep you in suspense for now. And just before I let you go and celebrate, just a reminder, I am DJ Ray, and you can find me under DJ Ray's Music on pretty much all the big social media platforms. If you want to check out the other stuff I do, there's some pretty cool things I do. Not too, but just give it a try. And if you don't really do the social media thing, you can check out my website, djraysmusic.com. So at this point, I'd just like to thank all of you for coming and joining me tonight. And I'd like to wish all of you a happy 2025. And let's hope we don't blow each other up, okay? It's love. Let's make love, not war. Yeah? Okay, guys, thank you very much. Happy New Year. Enjoy your night. If you're going out, please be careful with the drinking and whatnot. Love to all of you. Thanks for the gifts, and have a great New Year's Eve. Peace.